The number of weather-related disasters has increased fivefold in the past 50 years.
Throughout Earth's turbulent history, nature has displayed its immense power, yielding breathtaking and at times terrifying outcomes. From cataclysmic volcanic eruptions that shook civilizations to humbling storms that challenged even mighty nations, we explore history's most awe-inspiring natural disasters.
Oh my gosh!
But that's not all. We venture into the shadowy realm of the unknown, where impending disasters lurk. These are the cataclysms forewarned by science: ominous earthquakes, colossal tsunamis, devastating supervolcanoes, and climate catastrophes poised to reshape our world. Brace for astonishment and alarm as we dive into the heart-pounding world of the 20 most devastating natural disasters that have struck Earth and those looming on the horizon. Number 20, the 1556 earthquake. Many individuals often ponder the potential repercussions of a major earthquake striking California. The reality, however, is that such an event would need to be of considerable magnitude to surpass the historical record as the most catastrophic earthquake ever documented. This historical distinction belongs to an earthquake that occurred on January 23, 1556, in the Shanxi province of northern China. This seismic event, boasting a magnitude of 8, struck Shanxi and its neighboring regions, resulting in an estimated death toll of a staggering 830,000 individuals. The scale of devastation was so profound that it is believed to have reduced the population of the two affected provinces by a staggering 60%. Remarkably, despite its brevity, lasting only a few seconds, the earthquake triggered consequential fires and persistent flooding that endured for several days. In the aftermath of this catastrophic event, experts embarked on a rigorous examination to discern the precise causes of earthquakes. Simultaneously, China initiated investments in alternative construction techniques. Previously, buildings primarily comprised stone, rendering them highly vulnerable to seismic activity. However, in the wake of the 1556 earthquake, many structures in Shanxi began incorporating materials such as wood and bamboo, offering enhanced earthquake resilience. This paradigm shift in construction practices served as a model for safer building methods in earthquake-prone regions across the globe. Number 19. The Turkey Earthquake 2023. Turkey is a region particularly susceptible to seismic activity, making it highly vulnerable to earthquakes. This vulnerability was tragically underscored on February 6, 2023, when the nation experienced its most devastating earthquake in nearly a century. This cataclysmic event, measuring a staggering 7.8 magnitude, sent shockwaves rippling through the southern regions of Turkey and Syria, leaving in its wake a trail of destruction. Videos capturing the sheer force of this quake quickly circulated, revealing the horrifying spectacle of entire buildings, apartment complexes, and even hospitals collapsing to the ground. One particularly chilling clip captured by a CCTV camera documented pedestrians and motorists desperately fleeing from a rapidly approaching cloud of debris. In a matter of seconds, this ominous cloud engulfed the entire frame, morphing a once bustling public square into a dark and unrecognizable wasteland. However, the initial earthquake was only the beginning of this harrowing ordeal. In the ensuing weeks, powerful aftershocks relentlessly pounded the cities of Antakya and Malatya, compounding the already dire situation and further testing the resilience of the affected communities. Number 18. The 1839 Cyclone. On November 25, 1839, a devastating tropical cyclone made landfall in the city of Karinga, a significant port town in India. While there are no official records detailing the storm's parameters, estimations suggest that its surge reached a staggering 40 feet. Swiftly advancing through the harbor, the cyclone wrought swift destruction, resulting in the loss of approximately 20,000 vessels and tragically claiming the lives of around 300,000 individuals. It is important to note that this was not the city's initial encounter with such a calamity. An analogous tropical storm had struck the region half a century prior, claiming a similarly substantial toll of 20,000 lives. Following the cyclone of 1789, the city inhabitants exhibited resilience and managed to reconstruct their community. However, the cyclone of 1839 left an indelible mark due to its unparalleled severity, resulting in Coringa remaining a modest port town, even in contemporary times. The profound impact of the 1839 cyclone prompted Henry Pennington, president of the Marine Corps of Inquiry in Kolkata, to conduct a comprehensive study on analogous storms. In 1840, he presented his findings to the Asiatic Society of Bengal, during which he introduced the term cyclone. This nomenclature has since become the standard term to denote such natural catastrophes. In retrospect, British authorities designated Coringa as Hope Island, a somewhat whimsical endeavor aimed at shielding the vicinity from future natural disasters. Remarkably, since the calamity of 1839, the area has remained largely untouched by a cyclone of comparable magnitude, underscoring the potential effectiveness of these protective measures. Number 17. The flood of 1887. China has a long history of devastating floods dating back many centuries. One significant flood occurred in 1887. Farmers built walls near the river to control it, but this actually made the river higher because of the accumulating silt. On September 28, 1887, heavy rain caused the river to break through these walls, especially at the Hawaiian Ku section. This was dangerous because the area had many low-lying plains. The flood spread quickly across northern China, covering about 50,000 square miles. It submerged towns and farms. Estimates suggest that it killed between 900,000 to 2 million people and made millions more homeless. Lack of food and disease caused more deaths. But an even worse disaster happened between 1928 and 1930. There was a big drought, and in 1930, a harsh winter left lots of snow and ice in the mountains. When it melted in early 1931, it mixed with heavy rains and flowed into the Yangtze region. Flooding began in June, and the situation worsened in July with many cyclones. The flooding affected an area as big as New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey combined. Government estimates say about 25 million people suffered because of this flood, but some think it could be as high as 53 million. Depending on the source, the death toll varies from 420,000 to 4 million people, not counting those who died from diseases like measles, dysentery, malaria, and cholera. These diseases spread because people had to live closely together to escape the water. They also had trouble finding food and ate things like weeds and tree bark. These 1931 floods remain one of the deadliest natural disasters in human history, even though China faced more floods later on. Number 16. Chelyabinsk meteor. While the occurrence of a space-related catastrophe may not be foremost in our thoughts, it's worth noting that meteors regularly penetrate our atmosphere. In 1908, a monumental event linked to a meteorite unfolded over the stony Tunguska River in Russia, resulting in the flattening of an astounding 770 square miles of woodland. More recently, on February 15, 2013, Russia encountered another cosmic visitor. This time, it transpired over the Chelyabinsk Oblast in the Ural region. Numerous dashboard cameras captured a spectacular sight: a brilliant white light streaking across the sky, accompanied by a fiery tail. It culminated in a mid-air explosion that shattered windows and left over 1,500 people injured. Subsequently, chaos ensued, with thunderous explosions echoing, windows disintegrating, and office workers tumbling to the ground. This serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictability of space-related events and the potential consequences they can bring to our terrestrial existence. Number 15. The California wildfires. During the latter half of 2017, California bore witness to the most devastating wildfires in recorded history. These raging infernos decimated nearly 10,000 structures and tragically claimed the lives of 47 individuals. First responders exhibited incredible bravery as they documented the harrowing scenes of the Tubbs and Atlas fires, navigating through the relentless blaze while battling the unyielding flames. However, some of the most unforgettable and chilling footage emerged from an unexpected source: a driver traveling on the Interstate 405. In December, the Skirball fire engulfed the Sepulveda Pass in Bel Air, transforming the entire hillside into a nightmarish vision akin to a fiery mountain. This voracious blaze voraciously consumed a staggering 422 acres of land before it could finally be brought under control. The courage displayed by first responders and the sheer magnitude of destruction inflicted by these fires during that tumultuous period in 2017 remains etched in the annals of California's history. Number 14. The Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. The released footage of the Tohoku tsunami presents an unprecedented spectacle of destruction. These colossal waves mercilessly engulfed houses and entire towns, rendering them virtually unrecognizable. The rampage continued as boats and fiery debris were carried far inland, sweeping relentlessly across northeast Japan. Tragically, this catastrophic event claimed the lives of 16,000 individuals and obliterated innumerable homes. From an aerial perspective, the tsunami's relentless advance appeared as if it were an unstoppable force, akin to a waking nightmare. On the ground, the scenes were equally chilling, with people fleeing to higher ground as streets transformed into rushing waterways. These apocalyptic images reverberated across the globe, serving as a stark reminder of nature's fury. This devastation was the outcome of an earthquake of such immense power that it caused a perceptible shift in the Earth's axis. The advent of new technology has left us with an extensive repository of visual evidence, which will undoubtedly serve as a valuable resource for years to come. This data holds the potential to deepen our comprehension of the awesome might of earthquakes and tsunamis, ultimately aiding us in devising strategies to mitigate future loss of life and property. Number 13. The Mount St. Helens eruption. The ominous weeks leading up to the cataclysmic eruption of Washington State's notorious stratovolcano in 1980 held spectators spellbound with a mesmerizing blend of natural phenomena. As tension mounted beneath the Earth's surface, the stratovolcano's craters emitted a weird, otherworldly blue flame. Above, the ashen clouds crackled with the electric charge, producing a mesmerizing display of lightning that illuminated the darkened skies. But these strange occurrences were but a prelude to the dramatic climax that unfolded on the morning of May 18th. In an astonishing and almost surreal moment, the northern flank of the volcano abruptly gave way, setting into motion a colossal VI-5 eruption. Tragically, this eruption claimed the lives of more than 50 individuals who were caught in its destructive path. In an unprecedented demonstration of nature's force, the entire mountainside appeared to liquefy and cascade downwards, marking the largest landslide ever recorded in history. It was as though the mountain itself was pouring away in a relentless torrent of debris, leaving behind a landscape forever altered. This cataclysmic event etched its place in history as the most disastrous eruption ever to occur on American soil. Number 12. Earth in turmoil. According to data from the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, there has been a notable rise in climate-related disasters in the past 2 decades. To provide some context, from 1980 to 1999, there were slightly over 3,000 climate-related events. However, between 2000 and 2019, this figure more than doubled, with over 6,000 such disasters documented. The year 2020 marked a crucial turning point in this trend. Even as the world dealt with the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, a series of devastating weather and climate-related events persisted. Among the catastrophic events in that year were a volcanic eruption in the Philippines, an earthquake in Turkey, flash floods in Indonesia, Hurricane Laura in the United States, and Hurricane ETA in Central America. These events collectively resulted in the loss of hundreds of lives. Yet, history reminds us that some of the most catastrophic disasters occurred centuries ago. Consider, for example, the Huanghe flooding in China in 1931, which led to the tragic loss of millions of lives and immeasurable damage. The scale of destruction and chaos was so immense that officials could not accurately determine the death toll, but estimates suggest that around 4 million lives were lost. Regrettably, similar disasters have occurred in recent years, including in 2022 when floods in Afghanistan, India, Nigeria, and Brazil claimed hundreds of lives. Additionally, earthquakes in Indonesia and Afghanistan resulted in the loss of thousands of lives, while flooding in Nigeria displaced millions. Given these alarming facts, it is clear that our planet seems to be following a troubling pattern. This raises the urgent question: why are these events happening more frequently? Are there scientific explanations for these trends? Indeed, there are. Our Earth is undergoing rapid and multifaceted changes. These changes encompass more than just global warming or ozone layer depletion. Numerous other transformations are underway. These changes will undoubtedly have far-reaching effects on our weather and climate. Number 11. Earth's weakening magnetic field. Earth's magnetic field is crucial for protecting us from harmful solar flares. Sadly, it's getting weaker, with a 30% decline in the last 3,000 years, says Professor Nicholas Tavaney. This is due to ongoing changes in the Earth's core, and it could become dangerously weak in the next century. One area of concern is the South Atlantic anomaly. Here, the Earth's radiation belt comes too close to the surface, weakening our magnetic shield. This poses risks, especially for South America. Recent observations show this anomaly has weakened by another 6% in recent years. The consequences could be serious. Solar flares might reach our atmosphere, causing radiation illnesses, harming satellites, and creating stunning northern lights displays in the affected area. However, these effects might not happen right away. It could take several more years before we see the impact on Earth's surface. Number 10. North America's worst disaster in 300 years about to happen in 2023. A more dire prediction looms for this year, as indicated by NASA, which forecasts a significant impact, especially in the northern regions of the Americas. This impending disaster, set to be the most severe in North America in 3 centuries, is attributed to yet another anomaly in the Earth's composition: the San Andreas Fault. To comprehend the threat posed by this anomaly to the residents of North America, it can be simplified to a single, profound term: earthquakes. Throughout history, we have witnessed numerous devastating earthquakes, some of which were discussed earlier in this presentation. However, envisioning the repercussions of an earthquake registering a staggering magnitude of 10.0 striking a city may seem like the stuff of legends. To put it in perspective, no recorded earthquake in the annals of Earth's seismic activity has ever reached this astonishing magnitude. The highest recorded thus far stands at a magnitude of 9.0. Nonetheless, scientists speculate that the San Andreas Fault may harbor the potential to unleash cataclysmic tremors bordering on apocalyptic proportions, and there exists a tangible possibility of this occurring within the current year. While a magnitude 10.0 earthquake may sound like an exaggeration or a tale from folklore, a meticulous scientific examination of this region reveals that such an assessment may not be an exaggeration at all. You see, the San Andreas Fault represents a juncture on Earth's surface where the North American plate meets the Pacific plate. It's essential to understand that the Earth's rigid crust is divided into large tectonic plates, akin to colossal rock slabs in perpetual motion. However, when these colossal plates converge, it is a matter of grave concern. This intersection invariably brings about an environment of profound unpredictability where disastrous seismic events can emerge without warning. Number 9. The Lisbon Earthquake. One of Earth's biggest earthquakes was the Lisbon earthquake in 1755. It was very strong, causing an 8.5 on the earthquake scale, and sadly it killed around 60,000 people. It also made a huge wave in the Atlantic Ocean. Scientists were puzzled about why this happened, as the place where it occurred didn't usually have such big earthquakes. Here's why. The Earth has a hard inner part that doesn't move much, but the outer part is made of big puzzle pieces called tectonic plates. These plates always move around. There are 15 main and small plates, like the Eurasian, North American, and Antarctic ones. They have different sizes, about 125 kilometers thick, although some are even thicker at 200 kilometers, like the ones with land on them. Thinner plates, about 50 to 100 kilometers thick, are called oceanic plates. The Lisbon earthquake happened because Portugal is near the edge of the Eurasian and African plates. But usually, big earthquakes like this one occur in places where an oceanic plate goes under a continental plate. That's not exactly how Portugal is. Still, geologists found a crack in the Earth's crust between these two types of plates, which explained what happened. California has a similar thing called the San Andreas Fault. It was founded in 1895 by Professor Andrew Lawson and got its name from the nearby San Andreas Valley. You can even see this crack from the sky. The rocks there show the difference between the Pacific Plate, which is gray, and the North American Plate, which is brown. The actual crack is marked by a layer of black rock between these two layers. Number 8. A closer look at Earth's shifting plates. The San Andreas Fault is famous for where two huge pieces of Earth's surface meet. It's also known for causing big problems in California's history, like in the movie San Andreas. But in reality, most of the shaking here is small earthquakes that happen a few times a year. Still, experts warn that in 2023, there could be a major quake like in the movie. To understand better, let's look at how this fault works. The San Andreas Fault is like a line separating two big plates of Earth. These plates move sideways past each other. This fault has 3 parts, each with different speeds of movement. Scientists measure this movement in centimeters per year. Sometimes it speeds up or slows down, and we're not always sure why. The San Andreas Fault has caused many earthquakes, mostly in California and Alaska, with magnitudes from 4.0 to 5.0. It's been around for millions of years since the middle part of Earth's history. Number 7. The ticking time bomb. Geologists have made a distinct revelation regarding the movement patterns of tectonic plates. Specifically, they have observed that the North American plates are currently shifting southwestward, directly towards the Pacific Plate. This motion is believed to be instigating the accumulation of considerable compressional forces, which subsequently disperse into neighboring regions. It is imperative to acknowledge that a substantial population resides within the vicinity of this fault line, encompassing numerous towns and major road networks. Notably, there exists a railway tunnel traversing through this very fault line. Consequently, it is evident that any failure or displacement of these plates could lead to catastrophic seismic events, in accordance with predictions from NASA. To address any queries regarding the absence of such seismic activity thus far, it is essential to comprehend that the substantial slippage of tectonic plates necessitates a significant period to amass the requisite pressure generated by these compressional forces. Over the years, the buildup of such forces within this region has been steadily progressing, leaving us with the inevitable realization that a substantial seismic event in the form of a massive earthquake is looming on the horizon. The ensuing concern among experts and scientists arises from the exceptionally elevated risks associated with fault lines of this nature. A major earthquake event along the San Andreas Fault, for instance, could potentially sever crucial transportation routes in various parts of North America, adversely impacting areas ranging from California to Los Angeles. Number 6. The 166-year wait. It's important to note that scientists have revealed a noteworthy phenomenon regarding the San Andreas Fault system. The occurrence of a significant stress relief event like an earthquake along this fault has not transpired since 1857. Considering this extensive time frame of over 150 years, it becomes increasingly likely that an impending earthquake event, when it does happen, will have substantial ramifications. Such an event might extend its impact beyond the confines of North America. In recent years, Thomas Jordan, director of the Southern California Earthquake Center, conveyed a critical assessment of the San Andreas Fault's condition. He pointed out that this fault is in a precarious state, capable of generating a massive earthquake without prior warning. Specifically, the southern segment of the fault appears to be primed for such an event. Since 1857, the only significant stress relief experienced by this fault occurred during the 1906 earthquake that struck the San Francisco Bay Area. To put this into perspective, if we calculate the duration from 1857 to the present, we arrive at 166 years. This time frame aligns with the U.S. Geological Survey's assessment that catastrophic earthquakes tend to transpire roughly every 200 years. Consequently, it becomes evident that the San Andreas Fault is approaching the point where a substantial release of seismic energy is increasingly likely. Fortunately, seismologists are diligently monitoring the fault, employing various instruments to detect even the slightest indications of impending seismic activity. Their vigilance serves as an early warning system, enabling them to alert the public to potential imminent dangers. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. It's time for today's topic. NASA is issuing a stern warning regarding a significant natural disaster that has not occurred in North America's recorded history. Imagine an immense swirling storm in the sky, unlike anything we have witnessed previously. This substantial threat is approaching our region, marking it as a historic event. In this worrying situation, scientists are strongly raising the alarm. They're telling us to pay attention to this approaching threat. Imagine the wind howling, giant trees pulled from the ground, and entire houses lifted into the turbulent sky. Think about the huge impact when this enormous tornado hits our world with all its power. It's a natural show of strength that's hard to even imagine. But here's the most important question. Are we ready? Will we notice the signs before this big event happens? Or will we be surprised? It might seem like we have a lot of time, but when this unimaginable disaster comes, will we be prepared? The countdown has started, and we have to take action. This coming storm is unlike anything else, and it's getting closer and closer to us. Let us know what you think about this apocalyptic event. Number 5. Predicting the impact of a magnitude 9.0 earthquake. Scientists have developed a predictive model to examine the potential impact of an impending earthquake on the region and its potential for propagation to other areas. If this earthquake were to register at a magnitude of 9.0 or higher, it could generate significant and far-reaching ripple effects, extending to regions such as Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand, and Latin America. These effects might manifest as tsunamis or dramatic weather disturbances. Generally, experts anticipate that this upcoming earthquake will fall within the range of 7.5 or higher on the magnitude scale. Additionally, specialists foresee a substantial loss of life, potentially numbering in the thousands. Aftershocks are expected to persist for several days after the initial event, making it uncertain which parts of the affected cities will endure. Buildings are likely to suffer severe damage, especially considering the forecasted possibility of fires breaking out in the aftermath. Remarkably, seismologist Lucy Jones asserts that if the Santa Ana winds were active in North America at the time of the earthquake, the resulting fire damage could surpass initial estimations. Number 4. A cataclysmic prelude to California's future. The Santa Ana winds are robust, dry winds that originate from inland regions and blow towards the coast, primarily affecting areas like California. These winds bear significant responsibility for the sporadic wildfires that occur within this region. Let's recall the profound seismic event of April 18, 1906, known as the Great Earthquake, which unleashed massive tremors spanning from Eureka to the Salinas Valley. Subsequent to these tremors, massive fires erupted, and it took authorities several days to quell them. This seismic occurrence registered a magnitude of 7.5 on the Richter scale. Astonishingly, it obliterated more than 80% of the city, claimed the lives of over 3,000 individuals, and incurred losses exceeding $400 million. One can readily comprehend the magnitude of devastation a larger-scale earthquake could inflict on this region. Beyond the peril of wildfires, there's the looming potential for tsunamis triggered by aftershocks, which could unleash colossal water waves upon the land, leading to widespread flooding. It is undeniably a formidable challenge if events transpire as anticipated, and a projected earthquake strikes in 2023. The repercussions would be staggering, with property damages possibly reaching into the billions of dollars, a significant loss of life, and a population left grappling with profound misery. The economic framework could teeter under immense strain, potentially compelling many to seek refuge in other parts of the United States or even abroad. Only those with exceptional resilience, a deep commitment to their homeland, or individuals acclimatized to the frequent tremors in the area would likely remain steadfast. Number 3. NASA's startling El Niño advisory. In addition to the earthquake alert, NASA has issued another advisory concerning a significant phenomenon that could impact North America, potentially leading to the most severe weather conditions on record. While the likelihood of this being a mere coincidence is low, this phenomenon, known as El Niño, played a role in the extreme weather events of 2020. El Niño is a climate pattern influenced by changes in the temperature of the Pacific Ocean's waters. Another relevant force is La Niña, which persisted from late September 2020 to early 2023. In simplified terms, El Niño corresponds to elevated sea surface temperatures, while La Niña relates to cooler sea surface temperatures. These two phenomena exert a considerable influence on weather patterns across various regions worldwide, including the United States. When El Niño intensifies, the equatorial winds weaken, causing warm water to be pushed towards the American coastlines. Consequently, El Niño events lead to arid and warmer conditions in northern parts of the United States and Canada. Conversely, southern regions experience different weather dynamics as the roles are reversed. Number 2. Africa's climate quandary. North America is not the sole region of the world destined to grapple with a climatic crisis. This year, the El Niño phenomenon will have repercussions in other parts of the world as well. For example, Africa will witness reduced rainfall in its western and southern regions, while the eastern regions will experience heavy precipitation. These El Niño events also impact marine life as fish are compelled to migrate from warmer waters to more suitable environments. From 2020 to 2022, a La Niña event prevailed, leaving the World Meteorological Organization puzzled. They suspected its persistence into 2023, which indeed materialized. The La Niña phenomenon ultimately subsided in February 2023. Currently, scientists and experts are cautioning both North America and the global community to prepare for an impending El Niño event. The recent 3-year streak of La Niña occurrences has taken us by surprise, and there is uncertainty regarding what surprises the upcoming El Niño might hold for humanity. Number 1. The giant asteroid that could devastate Earth. NASA has warned us about some big dangers. One is an asteroid named Apophis. We've been watching it, but we can't say exactly when it will hit Earth. Apophis is massive, weighing 61 million tons and is about 340 meters wide. If it hits, it could cause a huge disaster, hurting many people and damaging a lot of things. It's coming at us at 30 kilometers per hour, and its impact could be 800 times worse than the Hiroshima bomb. The blast could destroy everything for thousands of square kilometers. Imagine if Apophis lands in the ocean, especially a big one like the Pacific. It could make giant tsunamis, even hitting the whole U.S. West Coast. Remember, these are just predictions for now. They might be right or they might not. We've seen strange things in space and unexpected natural disasters on Earth lately. This shows that we don't know everything about our planet and the universe. Which of the potential natural disasters worries you the most? Let us know in the comments below.